Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this video a bit after 7:30 on the evening of Wednesday, 6th of November, 2024, North American Eastern Standard Time. Just going to do a rundown of games that occurred well, played by the most recent games played by Canada's NHL and NBA teams. Just to recap, the Raptors in their Monday Eastern Time game away against the Denver Nuggets lost that one so narrowly, 121-119 indeed. The Raptors this regular season have lost only two games, have been involved in just two games that have been decided by at least 10 points. And between those two games that were decided by at least 10 points, the opening game of the regular season, 136-106 at home to the Cavs, was decided by 20 or more points. So that means each Raptors game, aside from the one on to open the regular season, has been decided by fewer than 15 points. And all but one of those games that were decided by under 15 points were decided by fewer than 10. So yes, it may be that in a future season, hopefully next season, the Raptors will see their share of wins in such close games. But again, that's still to be determined. The Sacramento Kings are not an easy team to beat. Neither Raptors. Well, really have any team been easy for the Raptors to beat? Scotty Barnes out of the lineup until later this month if he recovers from an injury to an orbital bone that quickly. Connor McDavid of the Oilers is expected to be back in the lineup for that home game against the Vegas Golden Knights, and that's a good thing. It was a very mixed bag without Connor McDavid in the lineup, the Oilers having won two games and lost their other one in regulation, and that loss was on Monday Eastern Time in a home game against the Devils. It was 3-0. Those Oilers could have used Connor McDavid oh so badly, but well, obviously it didn't work. But I'm sure Oilers fans are hoping for a bounce back. But these Golden Knights will not make it easy for the Oilers to win. So definitely looking forward to watch that game. Also plan to watch the Raptors playing a late game against Sacramento Kings. And in that road trip through California and Colorado, will only be playing, including the upcoming game against the Kings, 3 games in the Pacific time zone, basically California, until 2025. The question will be whether it'll be in the NBA final if the Raptors happen to get there. And on that note, it's not looking very good. The Raptors have a 2-6 win-loss record, so much for that. I mean, I don't certainly I would be amazed if the Raptors were to get to the 2025 NBA final. Whether they even get into a playing spot is an open question. I mean, games that are close, that are losses, are still losses. They don't come with points, unlike in the NHL. But if the Raptors if the Raptors were an NHL team, they'd only have like a 2-5-1-0 win, regulation loss, OT loss, shootout loss record, and it would have 5 points over 8 games. So therefore, would be still pretty bad. Right, never mind. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. So got to cover the Raptors. Be tip-off a bit after 10 p.m. Eastern Time. The actual broadcast on Sportsnet, Channel 1 to start, and then Regional 1 will come in after the Golden Knights Oilers game is done, or after a short segment of Sportsnet Central on the Sportsnet regional channels. So get to that game. Yeah, definitely looking forward to drop the puck in that game. It was 8:30 Eastern Time. So yeah, Definitely looking forward to those games. Now I'm going to go back to the games that took place on Tuesday Eastern Time, even involving a Canadian NHL or NBA team. So we're going to go from, I'm going to just go through a rundown here. So the there was a close game featured Flames and Habs, with the Flames having prevailed in overtime. Um, the Sens Sabres, Bruins Leafs. Um, and Canucks Ducks games were decided by each by 4 goals, with the Jets having won another game 3-0 over the Utah Hockey Club at Canada Life Center. So those Jets are so smoking hot, figuratively speaking. Of course, in the postseason, they get things tightened up. So who knows what will happen in the postseason? But I see the Jets as a almost certain playoff team, pretty much. I mean, I think last time I checked the standings as of games that had ended by the morning of this Wednesday Eastern Time had already been 10 points up on the Dallas Stars and St. Louis Blues for a top 3 divisional spot. Though thus, 10 or more points up, I'm pretty confident the Jets will be a playoff team. The question will be how far they get in the postseason, because, well, we all know what's happened in the last 2 playoff series against Golden Knights 2 seasons ago, out in 5 games, and only one of those losses had been close. This playoff series, well, the first game of that Jets Golden Knights playoff series was a convincing win by the Jets over the Golden Knights at T-Mobile Arena. This past playoff series the Jets played was very close in the first game, 7-6 win in regulation, followed by 4 losses, none of them close. In each of those 4 games decided by at least 2 goals. And yeah, there's no question that it's a legitimate question to ask. Whether the Jets will get far in the postseason, but the journey has begun, and there's a lot of hockey still left to be played before the 2025 NHL postseason begins. But this is the regular season. There are a whole bunch of Canadian NHL teams whose games are fun to watch, even if they end up losing those games. And oh boy, were there some losses. There were a couple of them. Well, there was the Habs, narrow loss in OT, but at least they end up winning. There was all right. Yeah, there was a big win by the Canucks over the Ducks, even with the Ducks having scored the game-opening goal, and the Canucks having scored only, I believe, late in the second period. There's no question, though, the Canucks certainly, dominated the Ducks, but it just took some time to get going. Whether against the LA Kings on Thursday Eastern Time, the Canucks will continue that dominance, that trip in California that's worked in their favor so far. Two wins, remain to be determined. But the Canucks will not be done this season with California road trips because the California teams are all intra-divisional opponents of the Canucks, as are the Seattle Kraken, Calgary Flames, and Edmonton Oilers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's another one. Yeah, Golden Knights. Yes. Golden Knights are the other team in the Pacific Division, and those Golden Knights will be facing the Oilers at Rogers Place in Edmonton in northern Alberta, or near northern Alberta. So, definitely looking forward to that. But then I look at the Ottawa Senators and the streakiness, and a 1-5-0-0 win, regulation loss, OT loss, shootout loss record in away games. Oof, that's not good. The Canucks have a 5-1-0-0 record in away games. Kevin Lankinen has been perfect on the road. Linus Ullmark of the Sens, high-priced acquisition, not good at all. Definitely huge contrast with the live stream hosted by the Kempner Canucks YouTube man, who would claim to have given the Canucks mostly this for how his favorite team had dominated the Ducks and Lukas Dostal. Whereas Game Over Ottawa, co-host gave the Sens this. Ditto for the co-host of the also of a relevant Locked On Sens live stream. It's part of that series of Locked On Sports podcasts. Locked On Sens, the Sens themed one. Yeah, no doubt. Game over Ottawa. Huge discussion about the Sens' poor record in away games, and yes, one win. And there are 35 games to go. Oh, well, these Sens are going to turn things around. Sens fans and followers, are you confident that they're going to turn things around? I mean, sure. Let's take a look at Thursday Eastern Time. The Sens are hosting the Isles, so that will, I'm sure, be a huge relief, because the Sens seem to be doing well at home. Yet, it's not looking good. And yes, Anton Forsberg has also been streaky. This is a contract season, so the goaltending is a mess. In terms of the goalies under contract to the Sens. I mean, remember that game against the LA Kings, an overtime win? Yeah. That game. Yeah, 8-7. Matt Shogard put in place by Travis Green, head coach of the Sens, after Forsberg had allowed 3 goals. Although again, I'd say Forsberg allowed 3 ugly goals in that game. Shogard allowed 3 ugly goals that I could count, at least the first 3 that the latter goal he had allowed. So yeah, definitely looking for will the Sens beat the Isles? It's a home game, which is good. But again, these Isles, I don't think will be pushovers. In other games on Thursday Eastern Time, the Flames will be playing an away game against the Bruins, with the Habs playing an away game against the Devils, the Jets playing a home game against the Avs, and the Canucks playing an away game against the Kings. So yes. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to find out what happens. Not just on the game scheduled for Wednesday Eastern Time, but also games scheduled for Thursday. And oh boy, yeah, they're going to be the Ottawa Senators. Pressure is going to be on to win. The question is whether the Sens are a playoff team. The latest standings show that they're still out. But again, they could change. But again, these Sens are definitely vulnerable. And the question is going to be if they can turn things around, not just at home, but take that momentum away from home. Because it's not like the Sens will be done playing on the road. Even after Thursday, I forget exactly how many away games Sens are scheduled to play this month, but at some point they're going to have to win on the road, because otherwise I see a playoff appearance by these Sens as almost certain not to happen. Anyway, I do encourage anyone who likes the video, click that like button. Helps the algorithm, and also shows that if you like the content about Canadian and MLS, NBA, and NHL teams, I'm here. I'm here for you. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. It's perfectly free to do, and also helps the YouTube algorithm get these videos out to as many of those watchers of Canadian MLS, NBA, and NHL teams as possible. I also cover Canada's, on this channel, Canada's under-18 men's and women's, under-20 men's, and adult men's and women's teams with relevant IHF top division tournaments that take place, not necessarily in that order, from the World Juniors from late December to early the following month. And then after that, the under-18 women's top division tournament. And then after that, in April, the adult women. Later in the month, the under-18 men, and then in May, the adult men. Also, not forget the Four Nations Face-Off, which will feature players from Canadian under contract to Canadian NHL teams. With only a few of these: Canada, the United States, Sweden, Finland, having their teams, and the others not so much. But anyway, I'm going to. Please also note if you want to have more, if you want to receive more timely notifications from YouTube of videos that I put out, I do invite you to click that notification bell. I do try to put out videos multiple times a week. On that note, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to say goodbye. Definitely looking forward to watching some hockey and basketball, and we're going to find out what happens with the Oilers and if they can beat a playoff caliber team. But with the streakiness of Canada's NHL teams, except the Winnipeg Jets, pretty much anything goes. Ditto for the Raptors, with a 2-6 record, but lots of close games. Fun to watch. And yes, in terms of the Sens, in terms of what happened, well, was it the U.S. presidential election? Even if it was, Sens didn't show up. And it's the core. It's serious problems, and there's no doubt that after in post-game comments made by Matt Cullen, play commentator for TSN, and Jamie Newell's McLennan, color commentator, that Sen's effort has been nothing but a disaster, and questions about goaltending again, about Linus Ullmark and how reliable he can be. But again, I'm going to wrap it up. Say goodbye. I'm going to get on with my evening, and it's already quite dark where I am in Ontario, Canada's capital, Toronto.